Prepare for another chill review.
Hello everyone, T-Man978 bringing you Transformers Alternators Decepticharge. This odd one-off character was released in the year 2005 in the standard red packaging they had that year. And here's the artwork. As you can see, he transforms into a Honda S2000. You see him holding his little gun right there and he's having a shield on his arm right here. Here's the side artwork. Here's all the stuff back here. They tell you that the engine becomes a scanner. Even though right here, that looks like a gun, but whatever. He has no bio whatsoever. So you gotta make up your storyline for him because in America they had no storyline. And his cross sail on the bottom was Wheeljack. Maybe I'll review him one day. Back in the day, Hasbro prototypes used to leak left and right. So everyone saw this car and saw the coloring and was speculating. Who's this character going to be? Who's this character going to be? Like he had, it looks like Megatron, but is it going to be Dragstrip? Because he's putting some racing details, which I'll zoom in or get a closer view right here. It says thrust powered, Destron oil, Hyperling Racing, Dueler exhaust. And the last one, I can't really tell what that first word says, but I know it says plugs. Cybertronian radios, which the tires say anyway. Energon power, Dinotron racing fuel. They try to take all types of little references from the Transformers history and pack it all on the side of him right there. On the back, he has a regular license plate that just has a shortened version of his name. You can see the Honda logo. This, yeah, that can close a little bit tighter like that. But as you can see, excellently detailed, just like all the alternators. Love those lights right there. And I don't know why this is loose all of a sudden. It wasn't like that before I started filming. And up here, the headlights, excellently detailed. And like I keep saying, these things are only 20 bucks. Can you believe that? Voyager class size figure with way more detail. Might be a little bit bigger than the Voyager class, really. Here's the engine in here. It's a bunch of hollow. If my lights were picking that up, you can see my fingers underneath of there. But the engine is there. And on the bottom, there's a little pipe that doesn't go anywhere. You can see his hands right here, but he has some nice tailpipes. But everything else is mostly covered. Of course, he has the steering gimmick where you can turn one wheel and make the other wheel turn. Reflective side view mirror. And detailed interior. I believe you can adjust the seats. Let's see. Yeah. You can move the seats. But, of course, shutting them wouldn't help a human sit in there. Anyway, here's the inside detail of that door. The seats has a stick shift and all that. No detail or coloring on the dashboard, which was always a little bit boring. But anywho, he's a hard top, unlike Windcharger, who had a soft top. But you can take this off, and now he's also a convertible. And I believe, let me see for a second, I could have sworn he came with the fake top-down little piece like Windcharger. Now, I think he actually did, but I don't know where to put it at. So this is Windcharger's piece. And let's see. Yes, it does fit in that little groove. So now he has that convertible look. Let's see if you can see the interior a little bit better. Steering wheel does turn. It's very soft rubber, as you can see. It might just fall apart due to age. And I didn't mention it, but I bought this from somebody from the boards. I can't remember who, but he sold me this one and the one for Windcharger. But I painted his silver so they can be different. Anywho. There's a good look at that. Transformation. One thing I forgot to mention, you can lift this up and he has a trunk, but it has robot bits in there. So yeah, I don't know what can fit in that trunk. Anywho, first thing you want to do, take these doors, open them out like this. You can leave this little piece on, but since it's not his anyway, I'm going to take it off. And you would have to take the roof off it if he still had that on. Well, basically, open this hood, fold this up, fold this down like that, pull the little gun out, and go ahead and unpeg these from the front of the car. Fold this in on both sides. Go ahead, open this up, separate here, elongate which will become his legs. Take these feet out. This stuff is a little bit wonky. Bend the wheel out like this and then hinge this under here like that. Take this little steering mechanism part right there and pull that in, and go ahead and rotate the foot down and shut that. Now you can bend that joint and straighten out the foot, bring out the heel spur. Same thing over here. Get the wheel out the way, bend the fender out, get the foot down, bend that up, spin the foot this way, bring out the heel spur. Now what you can do is rotate this up that way and spin the top part of the car around like that. Let me raise this. Fold the seats down, which is its real function. Separate or lift the trunk out like this. Separate these. Go ahead and bring these spoilers apart. Bring this down. And try to get the gut over top of his crotch part. Now his head is exposed. Go ahead and lift the hands out, separate this, bring that down, spin it around. Put the wheels up like this, bring the hands out, separate that, bring it down, spin it around. And basically, you have Decepticharge in his robot mode. And I used to love this toy. I love the head sculpt. I'm gonna have to bring in some comparisons. But basically, even though this dude looks a ton like Megatron, this is Windcharger's head sculpt. Why they didn't give this head sculpt to the figure they named Windcharger, I have no clue. Originally, Windcharger was going to be a Mustang instead of Wheeljack down there, because Wheeljack was going to be a Corvette. From what actually, I might be making that up. I think he should have been a Corvette. But anyway, Windcharger would have looked nice as the Mustang. Actually, he was going to be a Shelby Cobra, if I want to be specific. But like this, a lot of people thought it was Megatron because he even has an M colored in right there. In Japan, I believe he was some type of Megatron clone. But over here, like I said, no storyline. I love the detail right there. And I just loved having a yellow robot. Here are the details down here. One thing that sucks, this does not stay flush on his back, which can be aggravating. And these spoilers got in the way. I mean, he does have, let me see, well, that much rotation, but it makes everything come apart, so it's almost like he has no waist joint. Let me go into his other articulation while I'm here. His head is on a ball joint. He can look up, not really down too much, and he can rotate like this. The arms can go up and down like this, rotate about that much and stop, rotate about that much and stop. There's a joint right here, which is loose on mine. He has a rotation in his biceps. His elbows can get to a right angle. Ball jointed wrist that can lift up like that. The fingers hinge out. The index finger hinges out individually. I showed the waist. The legs can kick forward that much. go out that much. He has thigh rotation. The knee joint bends about that much, which really, really sucks unless you bring it out a little bit more. But then it bends at a weird angle right there, which looks ugly. And the heels can go in, so he does have ankle pivot. And they can rock forward and back a little bit, but getting this guy to stand up in a good pose is extremely difficult with these knees. I mean, he's better than Sideswipe, the Sideswipe Viper mode, but this thing used to aggravate me trying to pose it because it just never looked good in any pose. You could put this little part right there on him as a shield. And here is his gun. Now I'm lucky, like I said. I was able to get this little extra barrel. If you buy this guy straight in box, he won't have that barrel. And I don't know what you would have to go through to get one nowadays, because I don't know if anybody's making them. I bet somebody has it. And I can't remember whether this guy was actually released in Japan now. Memory is fading. I know it was released as RC. It was repainted and released as RC, but I don't know if he was actually released in this yellow color with an actual barrel. Anyway, he's decent. Let me bring in Wind Charger so you can see them together. And like I said, I don't know why, if they wanted to release this dude as Wind Charger, and we see this head fits on that balls joint. I don't know why they didn't release him with that head and call him Wind Charger. And I don't know, ever since his name is Decepticharge, is he supposed to be a clone of Wind Charger? I don't know what the thinking was there. And I'm working with over 10 years of knowledge that has wasted away. So I used to know everything about these guys. Now that stuff is sliding away as these things get less and less popular. You can see, looking at it, all the differences in the decal. Like I said, I love that color scheme. I love this color scheme too. He's a nice looking robot, even though he should have been named Override. I can't remember whether it was Override or Overdrive. He was an Omnibot. I always get that mixed up. I guess I could pause now and look it up. The appropriate name is Overdrive. Anyway, let me get Overdrive out of here. Wind Charger. And I'm going to reveal the shield Wind Charger to let you see that their face sculpts are very, very similar. Like, they have the same forehead, same chin, same protrusions on the side of the cheeks. But they're drastically painted different, and he has more of a chin strap. I think they gave a lot of these guys chin straps to represent them being like racing cars and whatnot. But you can see what they're going for. And I'm going to bring in Megatron, or Apollyon, so you can see that he does have a resemblance, sort of, to Megatron. A little bit. And just to let you see how these things scale to a Masterpiece figure. Apollyon is the same height as Masterpiece 2.0 Optimus Prime. I hate it when I get tongue-tied. I usually edit that stuff out, but I'm not today. So, in conclusion, with this barrel purchased, which made me like him a lot more, this is one of the alternators that I still actually enjoy. Even though he has horrible leg articulation. I mean, I was able to get him in a somewhat decent pose here, but yeah. I mean, that's good. Like I said, when you turn him, this comes forward, which also sucks. But he's not as horrible as the Viper mode to me, which I need to go back into Sunstreaker and Dead End next to see how much I like that one compared to Sideswipe. But anyway, he's still good. I would recommend him. He's a little oddball out. I'm pretty sure he's cheaper now than he used to be. He was a highly sought after figure, but now interest in alternators has dissipated. So you could probably get him for under $100 nowadays. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this look at Decepticharge, why don't you think about giving me a like? Why don't you think about sharing my videos so other people can see it and they can enjoy it? Comment down the bottom. I love comments. Nobody likes to comment. Everybody's so quiet. And subscribe so you can see more of my videos. T-Man978 out of here. Till next time.